God of Abraham, God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob. To the Spirit of Christ our Redeemer, to the grand and glorious Church of God and Saints of Christ. To our esteemed leader, Bishop C.L. Hendricks, First Lady, the Chief of the pulpit, and I'm humbled by his introduction. I only hope that I'm worthy of all that he said. I thank God for the attentiveness by the senior bishop who caters to my every need. And I'm not in a point where I'm an invalid yet, and I don't mean to insult people trying to help. I want you to understand I want to be as independent as long as I can be. Come on. I'm thankful to be among all these brothers. Each one of these ministers could stand in this seat right now, or stand in this place right now, and deliver the word of God. But I thank God that he chose me. All right. I was moved when I saw my granddaughter. Grandson watching in the water. Thank the Lord that he spared my life to be able to see that. No one here knows whether I'll be here next year. But I thank God that I'm here. Amen. 38 years it's been since I have eaten Passover with my sister. God is not good. Talk about it. All right. All right. We thank God for the word last evening.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Coming from our U.S., who delivered the Passover message.
Yes.
Superb, dressed in her preaching gown. How the Lord worked through her. We're grateful for that presentation last evening. I won't be before you long this morning, but there is a message. It's just one verse. And if you stand at this time, I will read it to you. Coming from the book of Judges, chapter 17, verse 6. And in those days, there was no king in Israel. But every man did that which was right in his own eyes. You may be seated in the house. One of God's message as a backyard religion. A backyard religion. Good inventors occasionally discover useful ideas just by working in the basement of the house or in their own backyards. Some backyard discoveries for those inventors come up with revolutionary ideas, but many of them are just mediocre, and that's what backyard religion is the same. The faith that one individual forges on his own turns out to be a poor, a low quality, and shoddy substitute for the real thing. I always say that do not force what God has not endorsed. The Judges tells of one man who built a church in his own backyard. And the scribe who recorded this story wanted future readers to understand the times that they were living in. The years with great judges like Samson and Gideon. And I must also include Deborah, because Deborah led Israel. The first woman to lead Israel. And while we applaud Kenjani Brown Jackson for being appointed to the Supreme Court of the United States, I want to let you know that she had nothing on Deborah. The scribe felt that future readers needed to understand what was going on during that time. So he wrote an epitaph to the 17th and 18th chapter. Now that can be a very serious and dangerous climate to live in when there's no rule of government. When everybody did what they pretty much felt was right to do. Because what is right for you may not be right for me. We all live by different set of ethics. And when you live by different set of ethics, you have no rule. You have no limits. You can do pretty much what you want to do. So Micah chose to build a chapel in his backyard.
All right.
He chose to create a backyard religion that could become tailored to his own needs and accessible and available at any point of time that he wanted to be religious. But he soon found out when he put together what he thought was right, all by himself, didn't consult anybody, that he made some major mistakes along the way.
All right.
And then he suffered frustration and consequences and failures as a result of those bad decisions. I'm going to share with you Micah's story in a hyperbole format, if I can say, that we spoke about on the phone.
Yes, sir.
Here we have a very poor substitute tonight. I should say, as I reveal this story. We have a superstitious family. A mother who missed some money out of the family savings. And she called the family together to discuss the problem. And we find out no one would own up to who took the money. So she began to place a curse on the thief that took the money. Apparently, this frightened Micah so much that he immediately confessed of his guilt to avoid the bad luck that was coming, he thought, from his mother. But the confession that Micah made only set up a bunch of problems for him. First of all, he violated the second commandment. With the return of the money to his mother went down to the nearest silversmith, paid him money to make images and idols, so he could place or she could place them in Micah's shrine, in his church that he built in his backyard. Remember, the text says in those days they had no king. And everyone did pretty much as they choose to do. Nothing with Micah was original. Everything was a copy. The Ark of the Covenant was a copy. The mercy seat was a copy. Seraphims and the family relics were all copies. But the thing was, the very authentic synagogue was only week down the road from where he lived. That was a real thing.
Come on.
But he decided he didn't want to make it a backyard religion. Something that was self-serving for him. In Micah's mind, his religion appeared to be somewhat after the real thing. Therefore, everything seemed fine on the surface. But that backyard religion really turned out to be a poor copy of here, there, and everywhere. Micah designed his own faith to be just as he wanted it to be. Handy, convenient, self-serving, broad-based, without limits. He manufactured it out of second-hand elements and ideas. So you see, when you create self-beliefs, your religion was at best superficial. Let me tell you something about a superficial religion. Have you ever heard of a young couple who just started out in marriage? They perhaps rented an apartment or bought a home. Didn't have enough funds to furnish the home. So what they did, they went out to Goodwill stores, you know what I'm talking about. Salvation Army. Same thing to DePaul. Mount Carmel Gill. They went to those places where they could purchase furniture and appliances that was less than quality. Now for a while, everything was working out for them. And they will work for a while. But when you go to places like that, you only get what you pay for. Second-hand goods are usually just that. They do not compare in quality to the original material. Occasionally you may find a bargain. As I said before, and you think you may pick up something good that will last. Micah built his faith by borrowing ideas from others, and it turned out to be a worthless religion. Micah's chapel looked fine on the surface at first glance, but the more you looked at it, the more you studied it, it had less integrity. It possessed nothing. Behind all of that authentic facade, all you can discover is a bunch of second-handed ideas, copies of others' ideas. So his faith featured an appointed priest who was right down, who carried all and wore all the proper garments. Carried the miniature ark, which was a copy of the main ark that was only down the street from where he lived, at Shiloh Temple. But under this fake facade, we see the first priest was a counterfeit with an unauthorized ordination. Some folk know today hold to those same homemade, big ideas, easily reveal themselves as unreal, fake, and a hypocrite. Micah's faith turned out to be shallow, superficial, but it also revealed itself to be a self-righteous religion. A self-righteous religion. Michael set up a system of doing things his way. Everything he did was trying to earn his way to heaven, which he called, as we call sometimes, filling up our temple every day. Michael believed that he could only get the right things together it would please God. But underneath all, he knew how superficial it was. And it troubled him. You see, when you do wrong, and you know you're doing wrong, your conscience is going to beat you. He got in trouble because he was trying to please God. And we all know that you can't earn your way to heaven. Someone said salvation is free. It's a gift of God. His strange mixture of homemade and baked ideas, found from here, there, and everywhere, did nothing to make him feel any better. And his worship was not acceptable unto God. He was just about to turn the corner. His conscience bothered him so much he was ready to turn the corner and do right. But here comes along the real priest from Shiloh. The consecrated priest. Yes, sir. That was consecrated under the right conditions. And he saw the temple and he said to Mike, he said, what you doing is not going to last. What you're doing is not going to please God. So what we have now is a superficial religion. Then we have a self-righteous religion. And now the real priest is telling him, you now have an unstable religion. An unstable religion is a lack of solid foundation. David said in the 11th chapter of the 11th number of Psalm in the 3rd verse, he said, if the foundation be destroyed, what will the righteous do? Many people are too quick to leave their foundation because of intimidation.
Look at it.
It is not the norm. It is not the worldview that I don't want to be different. Come on. But saints of God, Israel, we have no choice. We've been mandated to be different. Not weird, not strange, but different. God said we are a peculiar children of Him, so we have to be different. Why are we different? Because the lion has roared. Who can but fear? Lord, God has spoken. Who can not be denied? The lion roared and said, who changed the Sabbath from Saturday to Sunday? The lion roared and said, there's no truth for Christmas. The lion roared and said, there is no Easter. The lion roared and said, there's no Halloween. The lion roared. And he said, no longer Hail Mary, Mother of God, the Lord is with thee. Blessed art thou among women. God said to us to pray to the God of heaven, not to Mary, the Mother of God. Some of us have traded in and compromised in our beliefs. And so the lion has not roared for us yet. Some of us need to take another look at it. Let me say this, the real priest also suggested to Micah. He said, Micah, he said, it's now time to enter into the 21st century. I want you to upgrade your faith act. I want you to include that God still protects. God still provides. God still delivers. God still changes minds. God still changes hearts. And it will definitely change your behavior. Psalms 20 says that some trust in charity. trust in the Lord. I can hear me this morning.
Come on.
The old folk used to sing. I will trust
In the Lord.
in the Lord. I will trust in the Lord. I will trust in the Lord until I die. Yeah. It will be the real priest. Somebody said it with me, the real priest. Suggested that God wants believers who are more interested in expressing than impressing.
Oh, come on now. I get
Let
it.
me say that again.
Ready, man.
God is looking for believers
Yes.
who are more expressive than trying to impress. For too often, what we pass off as religion is designed to impress others about something or ourselves, and not about what God has done for us, or what God is doing for us, or what God will.
Come on. Yeah.
Realistic speaking, this morning, can I be real with you? When you give so that someone else sees you putting money in a plate,
All right.
it's designed to impress and not to express.
Wow.
When you carry the Bibles around with you, so folks can see the holiness, supposedly. The Lord did not give them one people to admire your behavior. It's not designed to express, but it's designed to impress. I hope you're getting a meaning. I will tell you today, when you present your bodies as living as the Apostle Paul said, you are not trying to impress, but you're designed to express. The point is that as it's an expression of commitment, authentic faith, and an unquestionable trust in God.
All right.
Not because you want to, but because you have to. Not because you want the world to see you, but you want to see God. All to Jesus, I surrender. All to Him, I freely give. Let me suggest to you, my sisters and brothers, Michael could not stay or say he was in the storm too long because he never got into the storm.
Yes, sir.
Because everything was so convenient for him. He had nothing to struggle with. But that's what happens to God's people
Come on.
when they give up on God too soon. God didn't promise us a life without pain and struggle. He didn't promise that we wouldn't have any pitfalls.
Yes, sir.
But what He did say to us that He will give us strength and see us through every situation that falls in our life. The Apostle Paul said it this way. He prayed to God 3 times to remove that thorn in his side. And 3 times God refused him. Paul was on the brink of losing his mind. He had been in prison. He had been beaten. His life had been threatened.
Yes, sir.
He was shipwrecked on an island with scorpions stung him. But my God came through for Paul.
All right.
He manifested himself through Paul himself.
Come on, brother.
And God brought him through.
Yes, sir.
Oh, yes.
I tell you, tonight or this afternoon, we are so grateful that the Lord has spared us. I'm just about finished now. But if you will permit me to say, can I push this envelope just a little further? I don't know why. I don't know much, Bishop. But I do know that God was my bread. When I was hungry. I know that God was my well of water. I don't know much. But what I do know, once I was blind, see, but I asked the Lord to set me free. I am saved by his mighty power. I want to dwell in this tabernacle. I can clearly now. I can see clearly now that the rain is gone. I can see clearly now that I know the right from the wrong. I don't know much, but I do know, saying every day, General, that God is blessing your neighbor. And he's in your neighborhood. What he has done for others, he certainly will do for you. I don't know much, but what I do know, God has manifested himself in our Shaker Heights acquisition. That's enough for everybody to jump up and down. The church. He has blessed that Shaker Heights. I don't know much. But I do know that the Lord will provide. I don't know. I know Michael's story may be your story.
Right.
But I want you to know that there's help available. Why not come and sit down in the kingdom of our God? There's rest for the wicked. There's rest for you. Why not come and sit down in the kingdom of our God? The real priest. Somebody say the real priest. The real priest of Jessica Michael. Since you lived in a world where there was no government, now I want to transfer you. Take a quantum leap, if you will, with me into the kingdom of God's government. In the book of Daniel 2:44, he said, in the days of these kings, that shall never be destroyed. That shall not be left to another people. But it shall break and consume all. Daniel said, I saw a stone rolling down through battle.
Yes, sir.
This stone was not an ordinary stone. The Bible said this stone was cut out of a rock. The mountain of God. It began to roll down through Babylon. It began to roll down through Persia. It began to roll down through Greece. It began to roll down through Rome. And it destroyed everything in its path. This was not an ordinary stone. It spread itself all over the world, known at that time. Let me tell you, saints of God, I don't have time. I will share with you. It brought us to what we call the Reformation period. You may be seated. Thank you so much. The Lord is through a reparation here. And we know who the reformers were, the Israelites. Martin Luther, John Calvin, John Charles Wesley, the Zwingli brothers. We know who the reformers were during the 15th and 16th century. But there was something in their message that didn't carry over. So God had to raise up 3 more prophets. Come on. First prophet was Elder G. Knight. Second prophet was Herbert W. Armstrong. The last prophet was Prophet William S. Crawford. All of these reformers had a form. They were protesters against the Catholic Church, but they never changed to Saturday worship. Come on. So their actuality, they were still with the Roman Church. But when you count 165 BC, and it goes all the way to 4 billion AD, it means the prophet of God. And I'm going to get it to you in a very short time. A prophet of God finished the 1260 days that Daniel forecast. And 49 years later, Prophet Daniel was born. The one he said, I will last prophet for this generation. We are the terminal generation. Prophecy, it takes place in 3 times: past, present, and future. He said, Gentiles prepare for Israel prepare to meet well. When you look at the television, I'm going to stop because I go on and on. But if you look at the television, you can see these countries marshaling themselves together. Russia, China, Iraq and Iran. They're all plotting. And if you know anything about prophecy, that it's already been predicted. That they were coming together. It all started with a dream. That was Nebuchadnezzar when he saw that statue. And he told everybody who would not bow down to that statue, come on. You either lose your life or be imprisoned. He had many people switch. Because they got in their lives more. They don't. The saints of God, I'm so happy to be here at this time. I'm so happy to be there. As I said, I don't know this day be my last time. But as I often heard in those verses, if I gotta go, I'd rather go out preaching. Thank you so much. I ask you to pray for me. The Lord will continue to use me. Somebody said I'm not tired yet. I love every sheep of the floor. Okay, I understand the way. I'm obligated to love you anyhow. I don't think there's anybody in this building that's more important than me losing my life because I don't like you. I'm trying to save my temper every day. But I may not earn a place. But as David said, if I can just keep it on the inside of the temple, on the other side of the door, as long as I make it in, I'm satisfied. I don't need the first seat. I don't need the second seat. I would rather be a doorkeeper. Sister